Sa the duck rice show. Oh, the duck rice show. The duck rice show. Duck rice show. It's me. Hey. All right. You know what got me on the air? Only folks that look at the live afterwards, or the folks that might see this in YouTube, will see the dance. All of you missed the dance. I love doing that shit because I know that you're going to look at you might look at a replay of the live. I'm learning to get a little bit more disciplined, a little more slice and dice. I think what's going to help grow this to the proportion we need it to be in order to do what we need it to do is I'm just going to delete folks that give me problems. I'm just going to remove folks that don't have the discipline to keep their mouths shut. I'm not going to go after those folks that are looking to push me off my square. You know. What I'll do instead is if I read anything in my comment section, anything that might cause me to, I'm just going to delete it. I feel that feeling coming on, you know. It's early. There's only a few of you. It was kind of a public service announcement. It's late. Well, it's not early. It's early in the show, late at night. It's early, but it's late at night. It's 10. We're creeping right up 10 o'clock's ass. Good evening. Now, for those of you who may be unfamiliar with the Doug Rice Show, let me tell you what we do. We talk. Now, let me clarify. I talk endlessly. It's just a gift. I don't know. However, I maintain that I usually find something interesting to say. And this evening, my brothers, my sisters, Hebrews, one and all, family strewn across this landscape like broken glass. Listen carefully. Newsflash, North Carolina. This is a good one. All right, here we go. Folks, it's not a good one. Excuse me. It's not a good one. It's an insightful one. Jesus, 6 people. That's all right. There's 1,200 people on. Everybody's looking at everybody's lives. It takes me about, a few 10, 20, 30 minutes to grab some folks and just start sharing it and going, come in here. But you got to hear this one. This is a news article. As we know, my format, I want to make that clear. This is not a program. Okay? Now, this is a show because I'm going to show you some shit. But I'm not trying to program you. But I do have a format. And you know what? I think I am trying to format you. I am trying to format each and every Negro in America. And I mean by format, I want to strip you, erase that programming that seems to be so prevalent in our society. One of the things that helps me do that is reality. I know, right? Reality just smacks you right across the face. You know, reality is more like a cold dash of water upon your senses. Well, folks, I want you to grab yourself some coffee right now because what I'm about to tell you, it's going to fuck you up. Here we go. North Carolina. Here we go. It's on my Twitter. Last thing I posted. Check it out. Rug Dicer. The news source itself is NBC News. And the headline, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Hebrews, hear this. North Carolina teacher accused of telling black students that, they could be field slaves. She decided to resign. Oh, you want me to read that again? Okay. North Carolina, verbatim for you. North Carolina teacher accused of telling black students they could be, quote unquote, field slaves, resigns. She had them raise their hand during a constitutional lesson and reminded them if it wasn't for the Constitution, comma, they would be her slaves, one parent said. What did she do? Hold up. So this is in North Carolina, dated, let me make sure, because before I lose all sense of purpose, yesterday, 10:54 in the morning, a North Carolina teacher resigned following outrage over alleged comments she made to black students that they would be her field slaves if it wasn't for the Constitution. What's wrong? What's wrong? Y'all act like I'm making this motherfucking shit up. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Y'all all right? Oh, no. That happened yesterday. You want me to read it again? I know you do. Let me do the headlines. NBC News, you want to click on it? Rug Dicer, Twitter. North Carolina, a teacher accused of telling black students they could be field slaves. She had them raise their hand during a constitutional lesson and reminded them, oh dear God, she reminded them that if it wasn't for that very Constitution, they would be her slaves. She let that slip out of her mouth in front of your children. You know, just your kids. Oh, and she had them participate in the debauchery, in the reduction, in the warning, in the fantasy. She calls it a constitutional lesson. I think she was teaching another lesson when she was trying to let our children know. Let me tell y'all something. You know, you almost think that needed a little attitude with it. Then let me tell y'all something. One vote Constitution. Out of all you fields. Yes, ma'am. Okay. What? Basically, she did to their faces what so many of them think behind our smiling backs. The fuck's on their mind? You really want me to be cool, don't you? Let me tell you why I smile so much. Do you know why I smile so fucking much? Do you know why I fucking smile so goddamn much? Do you know? Because she's in class. You do understand that motherfuckers paid for your students to be there in the classroom to raise their hand for a racist woman to point out that if it wasn't for the Constitution, they would be her field slaves. Still grinning? What? Do you find it amusing? Do you find it funny? Do you find it humorous? How many in the class laughed, I wonder? I just wonder who got a chuckle out of that. And by God, if I might, I know, we're all thinking it. I'll say it. Okay. Field slaves? What's up with the house slaves? What is, not even a few of us? Ma'am, excuse me, I would very much like to not be in the fields. If this is your twisted fantasy, if this is whatever you do at night that allows you to sleep peacefully, may I please come indoors? If that's, I mean, it's your fantasy, it's your delusion, it's your thing, whatever, you know. I mean, you said it. I just want to caveat. I just want a little bit of adjustment, if you don't mind, because, the whole outdoors thing, plus I'm light skinned, right? Just get in it with you, right? Let's just go. Can I be house instead of in the fields? I mean, if that's okay. Y'all raise your hands. I ain't raised mine. I just want to, is there a choice? That's all, ma'am. Because you about to get fired anyway. I figured I might as well join you in your fantasy. I mean, this is a rap. This is national news. And I figure, hey, I'll throw my hat in the ring and see if I can make the fucking article with you. Yes, ma'am. When you leave today, go ahead and take all the shit out of that desk and dresser because you won't be coming back. I'm telling my mama. I mean, did you not think? Ma'am. I just want to see her in the principal's office. Excuse me. So, Linda, come here for a moment, please. Linda, I just got a call from a couple of parents. I'm trying to figure something out here, girl. If you can help me. Because I'm trying, this 2021. 2020, you are a constitutional professor. We hired you to teach these children, I know. Now, I got off the phone and one of the parents said that you done said to the children, you done asked the children to raise their hand during a lesson and you wanted to let them know that if it wasn't for the very Constitution we've hired you to teach about, they would be your field slaves. Is that what you did, Linda? I'm just trying to figure out how much we're going to have to pay. Because pay we will. They did this, man. They did this, and you look. Now tomorrow, Monday, you go in, you done watched the Doug Rice show. You're affected. You go in, and you done heard this. How you gonna go in tomorrow? How you gonna go in tomorrow and not have this on your mind at least at some point during the day? How can you not at least reflect? Listen, I'm throwing it at you at least at 90 miles an hour. I'm putting some flair on the shit. I'm dropping a joke here and there. You gotta remember this tomorrow. Listen, do me a favor. Just please don't grin in your boss's face tomorrow. I'm begging you. This is brother. Hey, bro, how you doing? That's cool. I ain't tripping on that. Anybody else? Just think back to what this teacher done said. I need you to format in your head, in your mind. You need to understand. Listen to me, folks. Yesterday, I went on and on about a petition that was circulated at a Missouri school on students that wanted to bring back slavery. Today, I've got a teacher that's telling students that if it wasn't for the Constitution, they would be her freaking field slaves. This is happening. This ain't a fucking joke. This is, you what's on their mind? What's on their mind? What's on their mind? Tell me! What you think on their mind? With this being reported, somebody spoke this. It's 2021. Somebody got in a room full of people and let that come out their mouth. What you gonna do next? Are you gonna talk to Holocaust victims about all the what ifs? What are you fucking gonna do? Terrorize people? What are you doing? How would that be accepted? Oh, you don't think I'm gonna go there? You really don't think I'm going to go there? Come on, folks. Grab your fucking coffee. You really think I'm not about to do a comparative right this goddamn second? Then you don't know Doug Rice and you don't belong here. You may leave. I'll give you just a few seconds. I'll sip the coffee while some of you exit and prepare yourself. You delicate, insensitive, y'all folks, snowflakes, folks sensitive to what I'm about to say, get the fuck out. Now, everybody good? Everybody settled? So this woman got in front of us, and let's clarify that and be very specific. North Carolina student, Constitution, black students. Stop! That's who she was in front of, our children. That's first. Second, she allowed some narrative, some drivel to come through her lips, betraying her political stance, her personal feelings, her own character, simply just glommed through the education she was supposed to be delivering regarding the Constitution. The Constitution, real simple. Group of fools wrote it. Supposed to be something we use. Sometimes they change it. I gotta go. It's me. I probably shouldn't be a professor, but what I'm saying is she allowed her personal whatever to color whatever and she did it subconsciously, consciously. Who in God names gives a fuck? But I ask you this. What if I were a professor and the lesson they wanted me to teach was about the Holocaust? In my class, several students that can relate to what may have happened to perhaps folks related to them on some level. I begin to tell the story about the Holocaust, and then I supposition this perhaps. What if? Tell me, are there any students who have family that might be associated with the Holocaust? Please raise your hands. You do know that if the Nazis had won World War II, none of you would be here. Let me ask you how fast, how lightning fast, how with, I don't mean lightning, I mean like light speed. I mean beyond light speed. What's like warp 9, 10? How fast do they go in Star Trek? That's how fast! I mean, I can't even tell you. The shit would have come out of her mouth. Jewish students would have stood up in the middle of the damn class and set the whole class on fire. Everybody would you'd have seen, the shit would have just been horrific. Horrific. And it would have been on the news everywhere. And I don't mean just everywhere. I mean everywhere. I don't mean just, I mean like everywhere. I mean everywhere, all the time for hours. It would lead Fox. It would lead CNN. It would lead MSNBC. It would lead black teacher had Jewish students raise hand, gave the comparative, Nazis won, you would not be here. JDL loses their mind, comes off just, JDL just comes, surrounds the building, demands my head. Which they get on a platter. Delivered right out to the door. No trial. No, I don't even get fired. I don't even get my last check. I don't clear anything out. They chop my head off in the classroom and take me out to the JDL representative who takes the motherfucker and says, you goddamn right. 20 minutes after I said it. And of course, who would think to say something like that? Who would think to say something so offensive regarding the plight of those who survived, who didn't survive the Holocaust? Who in their right mind would come up with some comparative to say that if the Nazis had won, oh dear God, if they had won, you wouldn't even have been here? Who would do that? Who in their mind would think that was appropriate? But this chick thought it appropriate to tell a room full of black students, let's not be stupid. It's the reason she did it. She was feeling some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? She tried to holler at one of us and we shined her on. Something was in her craw. We know it. How you got, can I just say this? You let something that come out, you got something against us, man. What would you say? Oh, excuse me. Can you imagine the folks? These are students. These ain't stupid fucking people. These are our best and brightest going to college. Here, this chick is. Hold on, man. How far into the conversation did she get right after she said that? How many brakes was pumped in that time? Boy, I can imagine. And we woke too? You must have lost your mind. Earrings came off. Sisters had to get held back. Shoes was kicked off. Furniture was moved. I'm pretty sure she left that room quicker than she came the fucking. At least, I'm hoping. How dare she? Do you not understand what's going through the minds of motherfuckers that allows any goddamned one of them to say that fucking shit to our fucking children? Motherfucker, what? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Have you, ma'am, let me tell you something. They fired you. Remember that. They fired you. I don't even get this. How about so I think I did this one this morning because, it's my birthday. I think I did this one this morning. A 5-year-old child mistaken for a Hebrew gets put in a goddamn chokehold. Yeah! What? What do you think? I don't lie. I read it. What? Child of an immigrant came in, mistaken for a Hebrew. The mother screamed over and over and over to let the security guard know, that's not a Hebrew. The security guard pushed him away upon realizing that he was living out whatever fucking fantasy he was living out on a 5-year-old. Mistaken identity. It was not one of us, sir. You can let him go. They have some fucking fantasy about hurting us, don't they? They give them some kind of pleasure when they do damage to us, insult us, marginalize, mitigate. What is it? You get happy? What is that? Schadenfreude? Is that what it is? Oh, yeah, Doug's educated. Is that what they do? It's a particular, and it is a German thing, really, Schadenfreude. You guys know what Schadenfreude is, right? Please look up the term Schadenfreude. Our children could have been her field slaves. She told our children that. She told our kids that. And then you got to think about the impressionable black minds that may have been in that classroom trying to figure out their place in this society, to hear motherfucker let that come out their fucking mouth in front of him in public, in front of God and everybody, and think it's okay. I want her ass sued up one side and down the other. Then I want the school board for letting her ass in. Shit, I want the state for letting the school board in. Shit, I want the government for letting the state in. Fuck it! I don't like that shit. Do you? You don't wake up tomorrow with I know you're happy to see a day. I know that in your home by yourself, you are grinning to greet another day created and provided by the most high God of all creation, the God the Hebrews pray to. That's happiness. Looking in your children's faces, your wife's faces, your husband's faces as you're about to go up on your day. Family, all smile. But once you break the plane of your domicile, please don't neglect to remind your family, your children. Don't neglect to tell them what awaits us out here. This is on their minds, folks. Why are you smiling? Aren't they smiling too? What? I'm just saying, you keep most of them. I bet this chick smiled on the black person's face before she came into work to say that heinous shit. I bet she gave a perfunctory good morning, all the while thinking, you know, if it wasn't for the Constitution, that one would be my field slave. Black news. You liking this shit, ain't you? I don't understand. Parent told NBC affiliate WITN of Washington, North Carolina about the Winterville Charter Academy teacher's remarks. It's a fucking charter school. She had them raise their hand during a constitutional lesson, reminding them that if it wasn't for the Constitution, they'd be her slaves, her field slaves. Kenesha Tillman told the news station. You know who she was talking to. You know. Tillman has a child in the class. I know she does. I know Tanisha has a child in that particular class. We all know that Tanisha Tillman has a child in the class of a teacher who reminded that child that if it weren't for the Constitution, that child would be her field slave. I guarantee you Kenesha has a child in that class. God damn it. School located northeast of Wilmington did not immediately respond to a request for a comment Saturday. God, why did you write that, ma'am? What are you talking about? Okay, let's just for a minute. The school located in northeast of Wilmington did not immediately respond to a request for a comment Saturday. Now, one of two things can be ascertained from that particular sentence. Either you're telling the reader you're too stupid to know the schools aren't open on Saturday to return your call, or you're telling us that you're so diligent reporters that despite the school being closed on Saturday, you called anyway. Either way, I don't fucking like it. You could have ended the goddamn sentence at comment. School's principal sent a memo to parents of the 8th grade class and said action had been action. Oh, Jesus. Come on. What did you do? Listen, if whatever action the principal took is the same fucking action they've been taking for 50 years, can somebody tell that motherfucker I'd rather him do nothing? Just don't do shit. Let's try it. Fuck. I mean, you appear to have tried everything else. Doing nothing might work. Who knows? I'm game. You, fuck it. Fuck you. I mean, the school's principal sent a memo. Oh, God. You did? You sent a memo to the parents of the 8th grade class? You mean the 8th grade class that was told that if it wasn't for the Constitution, they'd be field slaves? Is that what? That class, that impressionable young group of black children, our gold, our treasure. You have a teacher whose proclivity toward addressing blackness in this country is to remind blackness, young blackness, that if it weren't for a simple piece of paper and the kindness of white people, we'd still be slaves. Motherfuckers, if you don't get that fucking grin off your goddamn face, that's what they want. They want us to be grateful. I know, right? They want us to be grateful. Do you know what they want us to be grateful for? They want us to be grateful that they let us go. But they don't want us to feel some kind of way for enslaving us in the first place. And then let's fold this in. They also don't really like the fact that they let us go in the first place, and they're all fucked up. So if you think Negroes are winning in this country, you are just not a Negro. Do you get it? Do you understand the trouble? And do you understand it? I mean, if that doesn't kind of put it in perspective, that breaks it down like a fraction. They walk around mad that we're not grateful they let us go from the slavery they put us in. They got a real attitude about that, and I just don't understand the whole fucking mess. They just can't get out of their own heads. They cannot get out of their own heads. They look at us, and their history just, it's got to be fucked up walking around having that history attached to you and not just owning it. You see, it's the lack of ownership that causes the chaos, folks. We know this. The denial, just the denial. Just, I never owned slaves. I know. But you own 3,000 acres in Wyoming. I get passed down generationally, right? Your grandfather's grandfather had that land, right? How do you get that again? You don't know the rules that were established to your grandfather to get 30,000 acres? Got you, baby. You don't want to talk about that? Okay, well, how about this then? How about the millions and millions of dollars that were made off the backs of slaves before they were freed and the generational wealth that it created that survived the Civil War? You guys don't know about that? You don't know that there are people that exist today that have all of their generational wealth because it started with slavery. And they live very nondescript and quiet, unassuming lives in sections of this country you have absolutely no access to, no knowledge of. And that's by design. I mean, I just need you to know how deeply sinister this whole plot is intertwined into the fabric and history of this country. How hard they've worked to keep us out. Because they know that by denying us that which we work for, they fulfill prophecy. It's not necessarily personal. I know, just slow down, everybody breathe. I know. And when you get to understand that they read scriptures too, when you get to understand they change in scriptures, taking scriptures out of scriptures for a reason, when you begin to understand the Roman Constantine decided this execution of church, state, no other compromised religions in the ranks, when you understand that they took what was ours and made it theirs, it's refreshing when you understand it, when you get it. I'm not saying I just get it. I'm just saying that, let me just explain what I've discovered. And then if you get anything from what I say, for God's sake, hit me up on my Patreon account, for God's sake. Look, it ain't rocket science. Come on, guys. This has been going on too long, too expertly, too fluid, too well-oiled a machine of maintaining caucasity top of the fucking food chain and black folks at the absolute bottom in this particular society. People have taken note. People are going, that's a bit odd. Didn't they help build the United States, it would appear a bit strange that after so long, I mean, don't they say it? Slavery was long ago. Yeah, it was. It was, wasn't it? You'd think y'all just man up about that shit and make it right. It was long ago, wasn't it? I mean, right? But you ain't gonna do that because you know deep down, and I think some of you want to tell us. I do. I think some of you want to let the cat out of the bag. The laws almost betray their inability to share their wealth. Listen. So, show out here a while back, the haves and the have-nots. The wife watched it. It was entertaining. Hey, I know when to look away. No problem. But Crier was kidnapped by Candace. Oh, motherfuckers, just sit down and watch. Crier was kidnapped by Candace. Candace demanded money. I understand it. She'd been on her back for this man, abuse and all the things. It's a wonderful told story. I think quite a leap for the former, good old boy. I think that man has done a wonderful job in that series. I think he held himself. He reinvented himself. Sorry, I'm well-rounded. So Candace was sitting there and Crier said the most interesting things. Folks, get a fucking education. And let me tell you something. They put the truth in the weirdest places. But Tyler Perry, he knew what he was doing. Listen to what Jim Crier said. Candace said, I want $7 million. Or $3 million. Whatever the fuck she said. I want the money. Crier's like, I'm not giving you money. Fuck you. Candace like, you don't give me the money, I'm going to kill you right here. She did some stuff to him. Candace, giant, finally! Almost like it just was too much, and he just snapped. He lost his mind, and he told the fucking truth. Let me tell you what he said. He said, I couldn't give you that money if I wanted to. She said, what? You don't know how this works, do you? What do you mean? I could want to give you $5 million, and the government would make me pay another $5 million for the privilege. It's structured that way so that the rich remain rich and the poor remain poor. You didn't know? I looked at that show, I was like, wow, pretty good. I'm impressed. But it's not designed just so the rich remain rich and the poor remain poor. I used to have the whole thing about the haves and the have-nots. I used to. It's in my Facebook history. And I used to rail on and on. I said, it's not about race. It's not about this. It's about the haves and the have-nots. It's about the bullshit. It's about race. Look, it's not about just keeping money with the folks that have money. It's about keeping money away from the folks that don't have money. And specifically, we cannot allow Negroes to prosper in this society as a whole. We must reduce and maintain their position prophetically. This is required to maintain the United States as a superpower. Because when you enslave Negroes, the result is you have a superpower. If you work them hard enough and work them long enough, the country will be blessed. I can go down 7 different countries that had us in their possession. But I don't need to do that. You guys know what I'm talking about. All right. So that's where we're at. We're in a place where this is on their minds, and it seems to be a running theme. They want to get us back in chains. We're not grateful that they've released us. Maybe that's why they want us. We didn't show enough gratitude once they snipped those chains off. I mean, what a service they did to black people back Then no education, no support, no infrastructure, no guidance, no gradual folding into the society, no remaking of their intellect and their self-value, their self-image, no careful consideration of their children to maintain that the thought of being a slave is no longer an idea or even something that needs to come to mind. No. What they did immediately was they made being black anywhere they say being black wasn't cool a crime. Sundowner time. Just, they don't want them here. So you got folks that yesterday were working in the fields under whips, chains, and death. Today, they basically can move about the country. But they can't go here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here. Or here. Don't go there either. Oh, you went there, go to jail. All right, it's 10:38, it's getting late. It's still my damn birthday, that's what I'm up for. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. That's not good. The memo that he wrote. Also, you wrote a memo in response, whatever. I lost track. The school principal sent a memo about the teacher who told the 8th grade class, the black 8th grade class, that if it weren't for the Constitution, they'd be slaves. Yeah, the principal wrote a very strong worded memo. The memo also stated that 2 racially insensitive words. Hold on. The memo also stated that 2 racially insensitive words were reportedly used by multiple children in the classroom without appropriate redirection, along with inappropriate response from the educator. Motherfuckers. Do you want me to read it again? Let's. The memo also stated that 2 racially insensitive words were reportedly used by multiple children in the classroom without appropriate redirection, along with inappropriate response from the educator. That says a lot. What did that teacher say? What did the white student say? This man be stupid. We know what the hell went on. This is okay. Well, it's my birthday. I'd rather leave on a happy note. The principal said school accepted the teacher's resignation. And it goes on. Culturally sensitive training for the teacher that resigned will be provided. Why? Listen to me. Culturally sensitive training for the teacher that resigned will be provided. For what purpose? Wait, stop. Culturally sensitive training for the teacher that resigned will be provided, along with proactive training measures for our current and future staff members, the principal said in the fucking memo. Did the dude read the memo? Did anybody proof the fucking memo? Did he get help writing the fucking memo? Is he really a principal? These are teachers, right? So, culturally sensitive training for the teacher that resigned will be provided. So, what's going to happen? She going to be home tomorrow. She ain't working, and you going to roll out that. What up? What up, Sally? What's happening? Yeah, let's we want to do this in the living room or the kitchen. This is your culturally sensitive training coming from the organization you resigned from yesterday. How stupid. Okay, moving on. The school with 661 students opened in 2015. Its website said 61% of the students are black. Who was her audience? So, let's paint the picture. The student in front of this teacher, day in, day out. Black students, probably the difficult babies, whatever. You got to know how to handle. You got to be, it's a skill, baby. It's a skill. The ABCs, the energies of young Negroes. It's a skill. You got to be on your toes. You can't feel some kind of way in a classroom full of brothers and sisters. Not in this day and age. They will eat you up and spit you out. You better know what you doing, partner. You better come in there and act like you got some goddamn sense. She didn't do that. You can tell. For years, though, she's been going in front of these students, and it's been building up. She's been looking at these people. She's been imagining them in the fields picking the cotton. She's probably heard the Negro spirituals in her mind. In her quiet times, when she gives them a test, they're all with their heads down. She's looking at them with some crazed look. Imagine them in the dirty shanty clothes that we're in. Unkempt hair, swing low, sweet cherry. And she's, ever so often, one of us looks up, goes, Miss Johnson. Yes. You all right up there, mama? I'm okay. She been dreaming about telling that to one of us for years. She has been she read the Constitution. She teaches it. So she read the Constitution. She has a clear understanding of just how enslaved we were. This teacher knew, boy, she said, boy, we had it good. For years. She read this Constitution and said, oh man, we owned them like that? Shit! Bill, did you read that shit? You were telling this to two teachers lounge. Marjorie, I read it. The fuck's wrong with her? I don't know. Finally, she snapped. There was one too many of us in the fucking classroom that day. And she looked out in the sea of black faces that stared back at her and said, let me tell all you. Like Denzel, I'm putting chains on all you. It's what's floating in her head, man. It's just funny. It just is. Because she lives like this. They live like this. They live with this. Well, how are they surviving? Shit, it was a matter of time. I'm glad she resigned. Had they fired her, she might have come back. Everybody had to go. They fragile like that sometimes. Yes, it's my birthday. I fucking went there. Look, I got a fucking hour and 15 fucking minutes. I'll say what I goddamn want. Hopefully they don't ban me. All right. 661 students, 61% black. She got in front of us and lost her fucking mind. It's our energy. It's too much energy for one person to take. It's not black. Oh, damn. I know that was good too. It was. But I mean, look at the effect. Look, what can we expect next? What's next? What's next? Now, every one of us need to look at him side-eyed. How long you been working there, Karen? How long you been working there, Jim? 13 years? It's overdue. You know, here's how you gauge how much danger you're in as black people in any work environment. Are you ready? Take notes. Here's how you gauge it. What you do is you take the amount of time it took for one of them to play you close. And you multiply that times the years you've been there, and then you divide that times how many times you gonna punch somebody in their face if they play you close. That number tells you about the percentage of chance you have of hearing some off color within the next 90 days. Yeah. All right. Very good article. I mean, it's a good article. It's a good read. I like this this format. If dissecting the stories that tell the tale is how to get through Hebrews, this is what I'll do. I mean, for God's sake, folks, where are you? Do you know where you're at? I mean, it's a really honest question. Because you can know where you where you think you're at. You might know where they think you should be. And you might know where you are at specifically. Anyway, my name's Doug Rice. I'm 56 today, you know. I'm farting mummy dust. Yeah. I'm old. I'm getting, I'm playing with the dogs, a little harder to get up, you know what I mean? A little bit, I go to sleep at 6, 7 o'clock at night. I wake up at 3. But the Creator, the Most High God, has seen fit to allow me to start another year. What's it with the, you know what I mean? What is it with the, yes, God allowed me to see another, no, he didn't. What God said, you're done with this year, get busy. Hurry the fuck up. Here's another one. This ain't no game, motherfucker. I don't care what you've done. I want to know what you're going to do. Yesterday's past. I'm just joking. I don't know. All right. I'm Doug Rice. Thank you for watching me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Doug Rice, the one and only. I only need less than 150 people. I'll have 1,000 people, and then YouTube will get a chance to ban me because, do more loves. And it's a thing, I have a Patreon account. You can look it up. Listen, here's how you remember my name. Doug Rice! 2 4-letter words. My wife sometimes adds a 3rd and 4th 4-letter word, but we don't have to get into that. But go to my Patreon, okay? If you want to support me, follow and do it, because I'm doing this full time now. I'm doing this full time. I like this shit. I'm gonna do this until they come knock on the door and take me to jail. They'll do it eventually. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna stop. I dare say that if they fuck with me, I'm probably gonna get even more vocal. And my middle name is Converse. I can talk. All right, folks. Thanks so much. It's 10 minutes to 11. I'm going to cool down, chill out, and spend the last hour of my birth date with me. This will be on the YouTube channel, though. You guys have a good evening, and thank you.